Hi everybody, thanks again for joining me. Today we're going to talk about herbs. This is a nice, simple, basic video on how to take care of your herbs. I grow mine indoors. I've started them from seed. Let me start with the basil first of all. Here's my basil. It's about 4 weeks old. See how nice and green the leaves are? I've got it in some regular potting soil. It's slightly moist. Basil does not like to dry out, so you need to keep it well watered but not soggy. It needs at least 6 hours of sun a day. It likes it hot and sunny, and it needs to be well watered. Here's one I planted back in January. They grow really fast once they get going. This one needs to be trimmed back. It's really bushy. I'd like to get it fuller down below. So I'll show you where to trim them. Right here at the intersection, you can see this is where I did my last cut here. Every time you cut a stem, boom, 2 new stems show up. So you want to cut the stem right above a leaf node like this. These ones, I'm just going to cut this one here, and it's going to grow another 2 here. This one here, you can see again, here's where I did my last cut, was right here. And boom, 2 new shoots come from that. So the more you trim it, the more you harvest, the more you'll get. This one is, I'm gonna cut 1 of each of these again. Just trim them right down close. And I'm just gonna pop it in a little vase of water. I'm just keeping it on my kitchen counter. You can also keep it in your refrigerator, keep it in between some 2 damp paper towels, and it'll keep quite nicely for you. So again, lots of sun, lots of water, but not too soggy, and pick it often. That's the basil. Let's move on to cilantro. Here's my cilantro seeds. These ones take a little bit longer to get going. These are again about 3 weeks old. The very first leaves coming up are just your seed leaves. This is your first true leaf here with the cilantro. This one also likes full sun, nice and hot. It's got a short life cycle though, so you cannot let this one go to flower because what it wants to do is make seeds. If you want to keep harvesting the leaves, don't let it flower. And if you want the seeds, of course, let it flower. The seeds are actually called coriander. Fun fact, cilantro and coriander are the same plant. The leaves are the cilantro, the seeds are the coriander. So this one likes to be moist as well, but not soggy. You can see, I don't know if you can tell the dirt here is just damp. It's got to have good drainage. Here's my plant I planted about 3 months ago, and I've been harvesting it, as you can see from the leaves here. The stems that are broken off. It's nice and full. You want to get as many leaves as you can and no flowers. So the flower stalk is going to come up from the middle. This one I don't see any flower stalks coming up, so I'm just content to harvest my cilantro, again snipping from the bottom, from the outside in. Just pop that in some water too. And just like that. Try not to harvest no more than 2/3 of the plant at once. It needs to have some foliage left in order to keep on growing, to keep on this photosynthesis. Theoretically, I could take all this off and work on that, and more is going to come up, and then this will be left to promote its growth. Again, cilantro, full sun, clip it often. You don't want it to let it go to seed. It's got a short life cycle. It likes to be moist but not soggy. And that's your cilantro. Thyme. Here's some thyme. This one again about 3 or 4 weeks ago I've started it. This is the only size that I have. I didn't start any of this sooner. You'll notice on the underneath it's got sort of a purple color on the underneath of the leaf. Thyme likes sun, hot, and dry. Don't keep this one wet. It's okay to dry this one out a little bit. It's drought tolerant. And for harvesting this one, again, you want to harvest right at the leaf node here, where the leaf is, you've got 2 leaves coming off the middle. I'm going to cut off that stem. Obviously, you'd like to have it a little fuller than this in order to use it properly. It needs to grow a little bit more. So you can let it completely dry. It needs some sun, and drying is good. You don't need to, don't keep this one wet. That's the thyme. Parsley next. Parsley, here we are. Parsley grows pretty fast. All right, so here's our parsley. We've got some nice leaves coming in. This is about 3 or 4 weeks old again. It likes to be slightly moist at all times. Don't let it sit in water though. It does not like to be too wet. It likes the sun again. All these herbs are sun-loving. They just need regular potting soil. The parsley, you can put in a little bit of extra perlite for more drainage. To harvest, you clip on the outside edges first. Here's a mature plant here. You can see I've been clipping away. So you kind of want to work outwards in. We'll just cut them down to the base. Again, you don't want to harvest more than 1 to 2/3 of the plant at one time. This one I harvested not that long ago. It's not quite ready. But that's how you do. You just clip them off and you got some nice leaves. Pop them in your water. And it likes more humid as well. If you can mist them a little bit, a few days a week, it likes that. And that's about how tall it grows. And these are all just grown indoors, under grow lights. Next we have oregano. Here we go. Oregano, it looks a lot like the thyme, but again, this is really small. The oregano takes a little longer to get going as well. I can't show you the harvest, it's too small to harvest, but it likes full sun. Again, they all like full sun, well-drained soil, keep it moist, but not soggy. It's drought resistant as well. So hot and dry is okay, water when it's dry. And last on the list I have mint. Just getting started. Mint keep your mint in its container because it is invasive. It will grow, take over your garden. This particular one is called spearmint. It's a perennial, which means it will come back year after year in our zone 3. You can also take root cut or clippings and root them in some water to propagate it if you like. So harvest that one regularly again. It likes the heat, but keep it watered if you have it in your garden and it's really hot. That's about it for the herbs today, guys. I hope I gave you a little bit of information there that you can use. Thanks again.